Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is sitting a tactful distance away because he thought, that the folks here in Garsfeld, right, Gisel and Gisling were, right on the cusp of a breakthrough last time, and he wanted to give them some space, right? He was kind of feeling that as long as he was available as a go-between between the two of them, that they might never get together. So he's hoping still that some progress perhaps could be made. So anyway, here he's coming back to finish up. I think we got about one more round of quests here in Garsfeld. We've been, doing good and helping things. It sounds like most of the people are going to get out, which seems probably like a decent idea. But we're gonna see what final aid we can give.
Strength. Will you aid us?
All right, hang on a second. We gotta do the font thing. Okay. I have faith in my father's plan, but in order not to place too heavy a burden upon Snowbourn, many of our rations must travel with the crofters. Hey, that's sensible. Our rations are stored about the town, but I need you to gather them for me so that Albrecht, Odnoth, and I can begin stowing them for the journey. Return to me when you have gathered the rations. Okay. Gathering things. Organizing stuff. It's like I'm with the Dunedain again.
I need your help.
Okay, to the south is one of the largest farmsteads. Since we know that the orcs have already begun to invade from the south, I fear for anyone still dwelling there. While they resisted my order to seek shelter in Garsfeld, I will not leave them behind when the rest of the crofters depart. Travel to the south and fend off the orcs at least long enough to see if any have survived. Yikes. Okay. I'm supposed to scavenge orc catches, so he didn't say anything about that. That's just a little initiative on Gryfflet's part. Okay. I like that, Gryfflet. That's spunky. Okay. Alright, cool. But oh, hey, Rosie. Good to see you. I mean, good to see everybody, too, but Rosie just said hi, so I was saying hi back. That's all. Okay. So, because, yeah, I haven't seen Rosie in a while. All right. Ooh, I don't see. Oh, that's what those baskets of bread are. They're not deliveries from the bakery. They're rations sitting around. Okay, I've been noticing those and thinking they looked kind of weird, so it'll be fun to go around and gather them. Who else am I supposed to talk to? Lungar? Okay, right. He's back right over there. But I'm going to go around and pick up baskets of bread. That's great. Have I put any thought into Gryfflet's voice? Actually, it's funny, Sam. Like, I've been playing Gryfflet for years and years. No, I haven't given any thought to that. Mostly because he never speaks. Right? I mean, it's one of the interesting things about, the whole Lotro quest thing, right? Is like, I get the text of the people I'm talking to, right? But you never get like dialogue for your own character, which makes sense. Like, they don't want to impose dialogue on you. But yeah, it's just funny because, now that you mentioned that, I've like never thought of it at all. JJ, I have not listened to Andy Serkis's Hobbit reading, though I'm excited to. I heard about that, was delighted to hear about that. But yeah, I don't, I have not had time to do that yet. Been having a little trouble with time lately, or rather with the too many of things to do. But I certainly did hear about it, and I think it's pretty awesome and honestly shocking. I mean, I don't care if he's Andy Serkis. I don't know how he got permission to do that. I mean, they're essentially giving away the unabridged audiobook of The Hobbit. For real? Like, that's a, This is a new day in the annals of HarperCollins, I can tell you, if that's the case. But anyway. So. That's what, I mean, to be totally honest, was my first thought about that. But
will you aid the Rohirrim?
Okay. Yes, I came to speak to you and your really kind of stark skull cap there. Oh yeah. But you're still rocking that, Langar. Loving the skull cap look. You've already done more than the others, as sad as it is to say. These are hard times, aye, but surely we can spare rations for my cat. For real. Do they expect me to let him starve? If you would, grab some rations for me from near the mead-hall. The guards are not keen on allowing rations for animals, aside from the horses, of course, so they might get in your way. Best to avoid them if you can. I will be waiting, and please, this would mean so much to me. You will be rewarded in kind. In kind? What, you're going to pay me in cat food, too? Alright, well, this is a pickle. This is a pickle because, I was instructed by the, I was instructed by the Thane to help him, and now he wants me to do something, that the Thane, does not approve. I'm confused. But, oi. Seriously, Langar? First of all, your cat is perfectly capable of feeding his own self, right? I mean, seriously. Unless your cat is wholly incompetent. And I don't think that, the orcs will have driven all the rodents out from town. But I don't know. Just not sure that, Tolkien would approve of this quest. Where are these rations I'm supposed to be stealing for the cat? Honestly. He said by the mead-hall. Oh. Unattended bucket of fish. Okay. Well, look. You leave an unattended bucket of fish lying around, then what can you expect? Yeah. JJ, that's just it. I mean, I honestly, it doesn't speak very well of Langar within the Tolkien world that, that he has a cat and is providing for it. I mean, no offense to cat people, but Tolkien ain't one. A cat person, I mean. And, let's see. I'm going off-road and losing my bearings. Okay, hang on. Oh, what? Gotta hide behind this rock while this guard goes by. Yeah, anyway, nothing against cats. I have okay, that's not quite true that I personally have nothing against cats. I kind of do. But it's not personal. It's not personal. I'm not a cat person. I have nothing against cat people. I might have been in different circumstances a cat person. Maybe. I don't know. But I was kind of a little bit of a cat person when I was in high school. But I have been married for a while now, 23 years, to a person who will die in the presence of cats. And so I have... Wait, hang on. Here you go. What am I supposed to do with it? Deliver it to the cat? Where's your cat? Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there she is. Right, okay. So yeah, like I have long since seen the cats as the enemies of my family, and I immediately like recoil when I see one and seek to interpose my body. So yeah, like it's just that's me and cats. So I just am not have long training of aversion to cats. Again, nothing personal. It's not that they've done anything to me, except almost kill my wife on a couple of occasions. But anyway,
What business have you with the
there it
Rohirrim?
is. But yeah, Tolkien clearly not a cat person either. I mean, it's pretty obvious in the context of the Tevildo story is where it is perfectly clear. But yeah, I mean, exactly. That you're right, Mario. It's perhaps odd to say that I have nothing personal against cats, apart from the fact that they almost killed my wife. But anyway, sorry. So yeah, I have that's my issue with cats, and just the reason for more than anything else, my like unfamiliarity with cats. Cats just seem to me like an alien species because I've spent the last half of my life, exercising extreme social distancing from cats by and large. Okay, hey man, look. People leave totally unattended buckets of fish, which apparently, like, was about to spoil. I'm assuming that the timer was like the fish is about to start rotting. So, look, I think that honestly, your cat might as well eat it. To be perfectly frank, you trusted the importance of my request. I fear what would have happened had you not aided me. What? You're afraid your cat was going to eat you, right? Okay, hey. You gave me, what, 3 silver tokens? You gave me your pocket change, and hey man, it's all good. It is all good. I am glad I was able to help a cat in Garsfeld. Oh boy. Yeah, Zach, I agree. Hopefully that cat is able to get through that bucket of fish pretty quickly. For the good of the cat, but also for the efficiency of the garrison, to be frank, so that perfectly good buckets of fish don't go to waste. And I think we've all learned something today about setting unattended buckets of fish outside one's mead-hall. You shouldn't do that if you don't want cats to eat it. And I think that's a genuinely useful life lesson. Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't do the other thing yet. Hang on. Well, I might as well hand in the rations since I'm here. Oh, how about dogs? My wife is okay with dogs. Some dogs are pretty bad, I have to admit, as far, like, for her allergies. But nothing like cats. I mean, there's no dog on Earth that she is nearly as allergic to as cats. They're not deadly. They just make her sneeze, dogs. But many dogs are fine. Like, we have a dog, and it's good. Okay, let's see. Well, I say it's good. Okay, no, the dog is good. I'm not gonna malign her. She is a senior dog now. She's a dog of increasing antiquity, and increasingly bizarre quirks of personality as she ages. But she's a darling little dog who's been our dog and been in my family for 15 years since she was born. But anyway, it's all good. Okay. Hey, no problem, man. Glad you could stow the rations away, but you had another follow-up quest? Okay.
Rohirrim have need of your services.
Your father has great concern for the safety of his people, but I know not if any would survive an orc assault with simple farming tools. When you reach the southern crofts, please search for any survivors. If the orcs are already upon them, I truthfully hold little hope. Yet, with your aid, perhaps they can be saved. Oh, well, I'm sure glad I came to you and got this quest before I went to the southern crofts. I'd have been kind of ticked if I'd gone there and had to go all the way back to look for survivors. Like if I was not permitted to like rescue the survivors the first time through. Hey, awesome. Mikon64 says hello, saying hi from France, and thanks for those for the interesting videos that she usually watches on YouTube. He or she, actually, I'm not quite sure your gender, but that's okay. Yeah, awesome. Cool. Welcome. Really glad that you could attend live today. It's always really fun when people are able to attend live. I mean, of course, obviously, I understand when people can't, but it's always cool when people are able to comment here. But anyway, I am heading out into the field to fight stuff, which means, let me queue up a lore question here. All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, all right. Darnulf, I saw the question that you just asked recently here in the stream, during the stream, so let's start with that one. Darnulf asks, okay, right, where was it again? There it is, okay. If Numenorians and Dunedain are kind of related in their longevity, the Numenorians got it to my knowledge from the Valar themselves, but how did the Dunedain get it? Great. Yes, they are, though not sort of to the same extreme. So, the longevity of the Numenorians was indeed a gift from the Valar. Their life times were extended. Elros, of course, being the most extreme example of this. He lived for like 500 years. His descendants after him did not live nearly so long, and those who were not in the line of the king lived even less long, but the Numenorians did have a long lifespan. They were, as Prince Rillian might say, long livers. But we're talking like a couple hundred years, 200 to 300 years, basically, is around how the Numenorians lived. Okay, here we are. This indeed is an example of the southern crofts, which I was urged to seek. Anyway, so okay, sneak around here. So that was the Numenorian age. There was always a difference between the line of the kings and the rest of them. But all of them were longer than usual. So the simple answer to how the Dunedain got their lives is just heredity, right? But this is not just, I mean, we can't think of this as just a genetic thing, right? When you find yourself giving answers to Tolkien questions in terms of genetics, one can't help but feel that even if one is giving the right answer, one is not answering that question in the right way, right? As that is, in the sense that it is certainly not how Tolkien himself thought, right, about these things. So the other way that I would say it is that the blessing of the Valar. Oh, I see a man slumped against the pole of a house. Do I? Well, Gryfflet sees him, but I don't yet. Oh, there he is! Oh, come on, man. Gryfflet. Guy is 2 levels below you, and you can't hide from him. That is not getting an A on your stealth report today, Gryfflet. Anyway, so, right, so the way I would say it, instead of speaking of heredity, which again, perfectly appropriate, but, well, no, perfectly accurate, but not appropriate, is to say that he, the blessing of the Valar lingers on the descendants of the Dunedain, right? But it dwindles. Over time, it dwindles, and they have faded and become as other men. They are distant from the. Remember that the Dunedain, even the faithful Dunedain, are themselves in Middle-earth under a kind of banishment from Numenor. By the way, the sky, beautiful. This is the sunset, right, or the sunrise? This is the sunrise. Yeah, it's the dawn. Man, I was just looking at the reflection of the pink clouds in the river there, and was like, holy cow. I mean, yes, I'm standing in the midst of carnage and in the middle of an invading orc army, but man, the sunrise is beautiful here. All right, let me talk to Sigarik here just a second.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Untie me. They killed everyone. I have to get out of here. Yeah. You're no more objections to returning to Garsfeld? Yeah, you go, man. I got this guy. I'll just keep him occupied. Yeah. Wait, no, okay, no, to the right! To the right! Don't! Okay. All right, let's hope he made it. All right, sorry. Boy, those NPCs, you know, you just cannot... I mean, they will run straight into the first enemy that they see. I know you might be thinking, I'm hardly likely to, you know, with my track record, do him that much good if I attempted to protect him. But anyway, okay. So yeah, Darnoff. Actually, yeah. So that's really good. Now, here's the other. Now, because notice, Aragorn. In Aragorn, the line of the king ran true, right? And so he's not only descended through the line of the kings, as we talked about last week. Even Elendil, though Elendil was not in fact king of Numenor, was in the direct line of the kings. Through Silmarillion, as we discussed. So he is of the royal line. He is of the line of Elros, and so therefore would have had a more a greater lifespan, even than, like, you know, your average Numenorian. But it's about the blessing of the Valar, right? And Aragorn, as the restorer of the line, the role that he is given as sort of to safeguard the memory of that which was, he's in an important place, right? So his long lifespan, it's not about, you know, Aragorn living right, you know, and you know, like eating well or something, right? It is a reflection of the blessing of the Valar, and that is. You can hear that in the sentence at the end of Appendix A, the Aragorn section of Appendix A, describing his the length of his life and everything, and how, you know, in him the sort of the true Numenorian race returned, and that is not only about him. I think that's also about a blessing that he received. Yeah, Ethelad is recalling Boromir saying, "Believe not that in the land of Gondor the blood of Numenor is spent, nor all its pride and dignity forgotten." Not all, perhaps, but Boromir is fooling himself here. Boromir, of course, dies young, but he would not have lived to anything like the age of Aragorn had he lived out his life. That I think is perfectly clear. Okay. Yeah, Phil. I would not be surprised if Faramir lived longer than he did. Just saying, like, in him, the blood of Numenor bred true, right? Where it did not in Boromir, his brother, as Gandalf says. But I don't want to simplify things. I don't want to make it sound like, you know, length of life is directly proportional to blessing of the Valar. It's not that simple, and it doesn't work that well. But Aragorn is designed to be a throwback, right? He is a glimpse in the end of the Third Age, and more importantly, at the beginning of the Fourth, a glimpse back to the glory of Numenor that was. So he is a glimpse that is given, right? That is sort of vouchsafed to the people of that past glory, which Boromir remembers and likes to think hasn't gone away, and it hasn't gone away completely, but it has faded. It has dwindled, right? But in Aragorn, it returns in him personally, not after him, right? But in him it returns. So he is designed to be a glimpse, right? A glimpse of that ancient glory, which is then after him going to be lost again. So anyway, okay. Come across no sign of the Rohirrim aside from Sigarik, you should scout the road to see if any Rohirrim were able to escape. Okay. Alright, well, no survivors. Few survivors. One survivor. Ooh! Boy, talk about timely stealthing of oneself. How many orc catches do I need? Oh, I'm supposed to kill a bunch of folks, too. Forgot about that. Didn't quite one-shot him, though. Okay, let's see. Next question. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ethelot, I was going to answer your question before. If Tuor is accounted as one of the Eldar, is it feasible that his son Eärendil would meet him, and would it be appropriate? Yeah, sure. I mean, theoretically, it's certainly theoretically possible that Eärendil and Tuor could meet again. Not sure where Tuor is. And that he is accounted among the Eldar does not necessarily mean that he is alive still outside of Mandos. He and Idril went off in a boat and weren't ever seen again. Again, it might be that they're fine. Maybe they got to Valinor. No. We know they didn't get to Valinor because Eärendil was the first one to do it. So they didn't get to Valinor. Did they fetch up somewhere? Are they living, some quiet and pleasant existence, somewhere or other, on some island? Maybe did they find, a Tower of Pearl somewhere where they are living? Can't say, because Tolkien never wrote that story, really. Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't sneak up on people in the tall grass here. So, yeah. Anyway, this touches on a sensitive point, which I was... Well, not exactly ranting about. Some people liked to characterize it as a rant, but it wasn't precisely a rant. On the subject of Eärendil. It's more a lament. Let me call it a lament, right? And my lament is that the Eärendil story was not ever completed. And when I say the Eärendil story wasn't completed, I don't mean... And so this is why, Ethelot, it's hard to answer your question from both ends. That is, I don't know if Tuor and Eärendil ever could have met again, because I don't know what happened to Tuor, right? But I also can't answer if Eärendil and Tuor ever met again, because I don't know what happened to Eärendil, right? Not really. And when I say that the story is, that he never finished the story of Eärendil, I don't mean... just that it's incomplete, right, in the way that some of Tolkien's stories were incomplete. I mean that it was he never finished conceiving it, even. We don't know what it was gonna be. And... It's hard, it's because Eärendil is really important, and especially in the early concepts of the mythology, Eärendil was massively important, had the highest status of any of Tolkien's heroes. Like, he was meant to be the hero to end all heroes. Like the hero that all of the other heroes wanted to be when they grew up. But, oh, gosh, we're really quite close to Snowbourn, aren't we? Oh, no, that's a patch of flowers. Thought it was a corpse. Sorry. Because I'm looking for survivors, right? I'm following... Oh, wait, no, sorry. There's a trail of footprints. Sorry, trail of footprints. Missed that. Thought I was just supposed to be looking along the road, but no, there's some specifics that I'm meant to follow here. Excuse me, Mr. Croft Defiler. I'm just gonna look for footprints now. Apologies. Yeah, so Earendel went from the hero whom all the other heroes were wanting to be when they grew up, to somebody whose story is never told. The fullest version of the Earendel story that we have in Tolkien's like later and sort of fuller versions of the story is Bilbo's poem. And as we noticed, okay, into the distance, which way? Southwards, I'm guessing, based on the hint from the quest. So let's do that. Put your hat back on. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Bilbo's poem. I love Bilbo's poem in Rivendell. It's one of my very favorite poems in all of the Lord of the Rings. No, they don't go this way at all, turns out. It's one of my favorite poems in the Lord of the Rings, but it does not do much for the Earendel story. In fact, one of the things that we noticed back when we spent about a month and a half talking about the Earendel poem and exploring the Lord of the Rings was how little it says. If anything, it rather de-emphasizes Earendel's accomplishments in the sense, we don't know, we're not told what he said. We're not even told exactly what his errand was. It is the version of the... Where on earth are these? It's hard to draw a line from one point. Oh, there we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Orc tracks. Tell you what, why don't you do this on foot here, Gryfflet. Anyway, so like I said, I love the Earendel story, but it's because I love the Earendel story that I am not disappointed, like I'm not rebuking Tolkien. I'm just... It's one of, for me, it's one of the great disappointments of the whole Legendarium, that Tolkien never resolved how he was going to handle the story. Okay. Uh-oh, it's not the blood of an orc. Oh, dear. Oh. Hold your horses there, mister. Oh dear, he got slaughtered. Oh man. Okay. Well, lots of stuff to talk to Gissel about, not much of it good. Okay. Why did it tell me to search the road to Snowbourn? It was all back up towards Garsfeld. Weird. Anyway, so again, like there's so many different versions of when he wrote any of the Earendel story. It was all earlier on. There were a bunch of notes, and then he wrote several like totally conflicting versions of it. I mean, he hadn't decided on exactly what was going on. The core of the myth that we get, the Earendel myth, as Bilbo describes it in his poem, is not about what he accomplished. That is, the song doesn't emphasize what he accomplished. It kind of emphasizes the tragedy, his desire to return and his inability to return. And that's sad. But anyway, like I said, it's very difficult. Hang on a second. I'm losing my orientation. Oh yeah, right, there we are. Of course. So yeah. Anyway, so that's why it's really hard in the end to answer the question. I mean, but Ethelad, here's the positive side. If you want to take a positive angle on this situation, you can easily say that yeah, if you want to take a positive angle on this, you can say this leaves us more scope to fill in the gap ourselves, right? Since there is no authoritative version of the Earendel story, well, we can make our own Arundel stories, right? We can it kind of leaves us more freedom to decide how we would prefer to think about it, right? To be a more active contributor to the story of Middle-earth in our own imaginations. Because there's no other options here. Let's see. Yeah, so bad news on the survivor front.
Thank you for your help.
Even the riders could not escape. Yeah, no, what a grim end for my folk. I will not allow the crofters to come to such a terrible end. We must depart now or risk losing everything. Well, that would seem prudent. Okay, the lost croft.
You did very well.
The death of these orcs has brought us nothing except the smallest amount of time. Okay, you need time to think. Oh, well, can you answer one other question for me? A croft too far?
Thank you for your help.
Right, preparations are made. It is time for me to alert the crofters. I need to... Oh, you're going to want me to protect a whole caravan? Risky, man. That is risky.
You did very well.
Did find one guy. That's right. You don't recognize him? Oh, great. He's probably a spy, and he's out there murdering everybody who did survive.
I need your help.
Preparations have been made. My people make ready as we speak. They must reach the safety of Snowbourn, for no other place in the Sutcrofts will keep them from harm. The reeve of the Sutcrofts, Fastred, is a brash... Uh-oh. It's always hard to come across a name that you recognize, because most of the Rohirrim, Reeve, and Thane names one recognizes posthumously from the song. The Reeve of the Sudcrofts, Fastred, is a brash young man, but a caring leader. He will not suffer the deaths of his people if they could easily be saved by our actions. I cannot thank you enough for the aid you have provided me and my people. It is unfortunate that our paths must split, but it is my duty to hold Garsfeld to my last. When you are ready to depart, speak with me. Okay. All right. Yes, at least it's not a caravan of horns. I'm ready. Let's do this. I'm in caravan protecting mode.
Fearing for the safety of my people, I have decreed that my son Giesling is to escort the crofters of Garsfeld to safety within the walls of Snowbourn.
Right.
However, the road south is fraught with danger as foes approach from all directions.
I noticed the danger with which the road south was fraught. So I am prepared. What do you think, Isling? What's our strategy? We've made it thus far. Have we? Wait. How far? Oh, we're way down here in the South Crofts already. Great. But I fear the road south will be fraught with danger. I've heard about the fraught. What's the present tense of fraught? I mean, it is fraught, which sounds like a past participle, right? What is the present tense verb of which fraught is the past participle? I've never asked that question in my life. I have no idea. You only ever use but it sounds like a participial usage, right? Fraught. It is fraught. Will be fraught. Huh. It's definitely an adjective. Fraught is an adjective. It will be fraught. It's usually used as a predicate adjective in that way. Yeah. Yeah, can't click on links, Phil. Tell me about it. Okay. I mean, I could, but I'd have to leave the game, and it's awkward, and it would open a window, which I'd have to go find. Oh, from Middle English. So fraught is also the present tense, huh? So what is the... How would one use the verb fraught in its old present tense sense? What does it mean? Like, what would the definition of, like, how do you fraught something? Or you probably don't fraught. It's probably not a transitive verb. So, like, hi, I'm fraughting over here. To load? It's related to freight? Really? Edith was right. It looks like it's from Dutch. Oh, well, that explains it. No, it's I'm just teasing. Of course the verb form is obsolete. First of all, I object to the word obsolete. No word is obsolete. Archaic, perhaps, but obsolete, never. What are words? Like Betamax systems or something like that? No. You can always still use words, and it's never too late to revive a perfectly good word which is not used anymore. Just because a word has fallen out of fashion does not mean it is obsolete. That is ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, fraught is what you do to freight, right? Oh no, okay, this is awesome. All right, so hang on, we got to sort this out so that, because this is going to be my project. My project this coming week is going to be to use the verb fraught as many times as I can possibly squeeze it. But I have to make sure I understand it. So I see people are posting for me etymologies and stuff, which Tolkien would totally have appreciated and far more than I do. The point is, what's the definition? Like, usage. Anybody have the OED? Can anybody get into the OED? Look up fraught in the OED. They'll give me some examples of how it was used in Middle English, and that'll help. Okay, here's a quote. A Shakespeare, okay, good, see, there you go. If Shakespeare uses it, then obviously it's not obsolete. Okay, Shakespeare says, "Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the fraughting souls within her." The fraughting souls. Love it. Love it. Okay, the fraughting souls. So fraughting. So Shakespeare uses a present participle version of it, right? That's kind of cool, right? It should the good ship so have swallowed, and the fraughting souls within her. Very cool. Okay, so fraughting. So fraughting as present participle means being carried as freight. Okay, so the usage, the one singular usage that we still retain in modern English that we're permitted to call not obsolete is the one here that Gissling, echoing his father, is using. Footnote. I take this as a good sign. The fact that Gissling, we got Gissel's voiceover, right? And he talked about the road south being fraught with danger. And then as soon as we talk to Gissling here, he uses the exact same phrase, right? We've made it thus far, but I fear the road south will be fraught with danger. I think that's a good sign. I think what that means is that Gissel and Gissling were clearly talking together, right? He's echoing his father's words. His father clearly told him also the business about the road south being fraught with danger, and he's echoing it. And so therefore, clearly they're speaking. This is him listening to and mirroring, honestly, right? The diction of his father. So I think we have had a breakthrough, right? And although sure Garsfeld might be on the brink of destruction and most of its people have been slaughtered, but the gulf between father and son has been mended. Gryfflet has clearly done good here. But back to fraught. Okay, but I fear the road south will be fraught with danger. Okay, will be fraught. So the road carries danger like cargo, right? That's the metaphor here, right? It is fraught with, so like it's loaded up with danger, right? We're loading up the road south with danger, and so Shakespeare's usage, right? Shakespeare's the fraughting souls, right? The present participial version is so all right. You use fraught as a past participle, as a predicate adjective, right? Describing, so the road will be fraught, or the road is fraught, right? Shakespeare uses the present participle as an adjective, not describing the thing which is being loaded up, right? But the passengers themselves. Of course, we could have guessed that from the way that it's used in conjunction with the verb to be, right? It's made it into a passive usage, talking about the thing which is being fraught, which is being loaded, which means that if we can say fraughting souls, right, then you can use fraught as a transitive verb, right? I mean, that follows. If you have to make it into a passive verb in order to use it as a past participle here, right? Then you can use it transitively, which is awesome, right? So does that mean you can like fraught the things, right? Oh man. Okay, hang on. Let's see. So, first of all, I don't want to just like chuck out like geeky vocabulary without explaining it. For those of you who aren't familiar with the terms, transitive verb means one that takes a direct object, whereas an intransitive verb is one that doesn't take a direct object, right? So like the verb sleep is an intransitive verb, right? Because you can't like sleep something. That doesn't work, right? You can only sleep, but you can't sleep a thing. Whereas something like, load is a transitive verb because it takes a direct object. You load something, right? So that's what I mean when I'm talking about is fraught transitive. Like, can you say like, I fraught the sink with dishes? Would that be a legitimate usage, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But again, if you can say the sink is full of fraughting dishes, which sounds like a thing I might want to say on an almost daily basis, then it's present participle. Oh, Bill, you are the best. Okay, fraughting. I love it. So if the cargo is a fraughting cargo, wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I know, but Phil, it would be, I mean, obviously, if you're putting dishes in the sink, they're not cargo exactly. But see, but to load or to lade something doesn't have to be. I mean, it's usually used of something being transported from one place to another, but obviously in the metaphorical usage with which it's being employed here, right? With the road being fraught with danger, the road is laden with danger, but the road isn't itself going anywhere, right? So that itself is already a metaphor which is not being applied to something which is itself moving. The road might be the place on which you move, but it does not itself in fact move. So I don't think that the sink would have to be mobile in order to do it. I mean, you can say that you are like lading something upon another thing, even if that other thing isn't moving, right? So that's okay. So yes, Edith, you could say my wife fraught my arms with dishes to take to the sink. Yeah, you could totally say that. But it's so cool. This is so awesome because fraught totally sounds like it should be past tense, right? I have to admit, like, I never dreamed that the verb fraught would be the present tense verb, right? I mean, that is just super, super cool. So, I mean, it honestly sounds like it should probably be freight, right? Because, I mean, if it's connected to cargo, then you gotta freight is clearly a related word, right? And I can't really like fraughted. The past tense fraughted is just bizarre, right? But yeah. So Phil, what are you quoting there? Third person singular simple present fraughts. Like he, she, it fraughts. That is so fantastic. Present participle fraughting, simple past and past participle fraughted. Well, no, the past participle is fraught. That's what we're still using, is the past participle. I mean, that's obviously the past participial usage. I mean, maybe it was once fraughted and we have since, shortened it. But Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Mary, if you could find a Middle English usage. I mean, of course, Shakespeare, on the one hand, is wonderful for usages, but you always have to kind of put an asterisk next to Shakespeare's usage when you're trying to find like what the archaic standard usage was. Shakespeare will often mislead you because Shakespeare, of course, was extremely fond, more fond than any author I know in the history of the English language at using words in completely novel ways. I mean, like, we're talking about a guy who used the word duke as a verb, right? Like, he dukes it well in my absence, he says, speaking of the guy who is the substitute duke, right? Anyway, I think so. Like I said, you've got to be aware of the fact that Shakespeare's uses are just because Shakespeare is talking about fraughting souls. It doesn't mean that everybody talked like that necessarily. Would I count circa 1400 as Middle English? Absolutely. Yes. Circa 14, that's Chaucer. Chaucer died in 1400. So yeah, 100%. That's Middle English. Okay. Awesome. No, this is great. Sorry, Gisling. Didn't mean to leave you hanging there, Gisling. We can keep going, and I'll keep thinking about. I'll keep thinking about it. It's in the Man of Law's Tale. Ah, these merchants hand on fraught. Her ship is new. Okay. These merchants have done fraught. So he's using the past participle there. Fraught. Fraucht is how you'd pronounce it in Middle English, which, come on, is that not cooler, right? Fraught is a cool word enough on its own. And fraughting is awesome, but fraucht, come on. Fraucht is a cooler word to say, right? Almost any word in which you can, add the ch sound. Okay, so let's see. Halliland comes there away for to fracht them with that salt. Okay, to fracht them, so to freight them, right? To load them up with that salt. Okay. Halliland, what is that, the name of a ship or something? I mean, it's clearly like a mercantile word, right? I mean, Chaucer is using it in an explicitly mercantile sense, right? Talking about merchants there. Halliland comes there away for to fracht them with that salt. Is the Middle English. Sorry, for those of you who can't see and are watching this or might be wondering, I'm reading in Middle English. I'm getting Middle English usage quotes for fraught. This is urgent, right? Sorry, Gryfflet, to hold you up, but this is important, right? This is a new word. This is like, the horizons are opening. Oh man, I am so excited. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's. You've done well to... Sorry, Gisling. Yeah, I'll get back to it, and I'll keep thinking about fraught. You've done so well to deal so severe a blow to our foes near Garsfeld, but the fields to the south may be rife with orcs. Don't get me started on rife. Let me gather the crofters. We must set out as soon as we are able. Everyone, gather. Gryfflet is here to protect you. Oh, are we going on foot? Tell me we're going on foot. That's right. Time to press on. Move along, people. We will encounter more resistance, but fear not. Gryfflet and I shall defend you. Hey, good. Hey, Gisling, you can tank, right? Okay. What, seriously? This is what departing with haste looks like? Well, good. I'm going to stealth up then. Because I can move with stealth twice as fast as y'all can walk. That's good. Look at this. Look at them in formation. I feel like we should sing a little song or something. Oh, look, there we are. There's Snowbourn right there. Okay. My life is fraught with interruptions, Pineleaf, you are so right. But I am going to fraught these orcs with misery if they come anywhere near me. Is Gryfflet currently fraughted with NPCs to... I've got a... am I fraughted with NPCs to protect? I think I might be. I think I might be. Okay, it's been uneventful so far. Kind of expected assault before now. Oh, hang on. Where are they coming? Oh, over here. Oh, stop shooting people. Boom. Yes. Oh, this half-orc is fraughted with woe. Oh, man. Hey! Oh, that's not on. I'm sorry. Knock it off. You. And you. You also knock it off. Oh, there's one from Spencer, too. By this sad Una, fraught with anguish sore. Okay, see, now that's the participial usage. So that's slightly less cool than everybody okay? Everybody healed from their arrow wounds and stuff? Good, good. Yeah, so that's the participial version. Yeah, so Una is fraught with anguish, right? So she is fraught with anguish in the same sense in which this road is fraught with peril, right? Because it's loaded up with it, right? So she is loaded up with anguish, as you would be too if a dragon had taken over your homeland and were holding your parents prisoner in their tower. Oh, hang on, we're kneeling. Are they anticipating being attacked? Where? Oh, here we are. Hi, guys. Yep. There we go. No, come on. Run right past me. That's super rude. Boy, that's like... Hey, did you just damage my cloak? That was so rude. Yeah, so the Spencer quote, I mean, obviously it works. Like, it's perfectly acceptable. But, whoa! Here we go, out of nowhere. Hi, guys. Stop. You guys attacking me now? Oh, good. That's just what you should be doing. Gryfflet the mini tank. Oh, and Gisling is just, he's got other things to do. Oh, good. Yeah, he does have other things to do. Yeah, you take care of him. I'll get this one. No problem. Okay. All right. Now, okay, now people, your next challenge. Find a way to use the present participial version of fraught. Like in your daily life. So let's think here. Fraughting. I still like the, the sink is full of fraughting dishes, especially since it kind of sounds like a cuss word, but it isn't a cuss word, right? So, but, Ethelod, you might want to, be a little on the cautious side, as your parents might not realize you're making an erudite Shakespeare reference, and might think you're just using of obscene language. So, one has to be cautious about this sort of thing. Wow. Run! Yeah, actually, running might have been a good idea from the start, come to think of it. Hey, everybody coming over here? No. Oh, good. Oh, hey, look, and the guards are helping. Oh, that's wonderful. And all the civilians made it, right? Good, good. Yeah, likely about. That is fantastic, right? If you're fraughting your speech with foul language, you can avoid fraughting your speech with foul language by using excellent archaic words, right? Absolutely. Very good, likely about. Gold star for you. It's funny, like, no offense, Snowbourn croft guards, but I totally thought that you were orcs at first. Like, I thought you were like a second wave, because I saw your red shields, and I was like, and you know, my first thought was like, whoa, these orcs have like white on red shields. Like, that's really weird. Instead of like, you know, red on black or whatever else. Oh, hang on, Gisling is going to continue his slow. No, that. Oh, you're going down there. This is where you're, oh, we've made it. Oh, is this a refugee camp or something? Hey, no problem, Gisling. And so glad you're talking to your dad again. I'm really glad. Perhaps you and I are the worse for wear, but thankfully the crofters have made it here unscathed. All right, let's get to what we have to do in Snowbourn. Are you prepared to continue aiding the people of Crofts? Yes. Yes, I am. Okay. So I don't know, like, whoa. All right. And here I am, just inside the gates. Just inside the east gates. Okay. I'm on the other side of town, but that's fine. I'm next to the stable master, which is convenient.
Our mission is dire.
Look at that. I've opened all of them up except Hutbold and Wallstow. All right, and then, of course, I've not yet been to the Eastemnet or Wildermore or the Vales of Anduin, but Hutbold and Wallstow, so this is my penultimate town in the Eastemnet. That's so exciting. Look at all of those little flags. My goodness. I've been almost everywhere except to Wallstow, which is down here. Very good. Okay. How excellent. Okay, let's see. Hang on. This horse putting on a fashion show. I don't know, all those leather straps don't look so very comfortable. The battle axe holster is kind of cool, though. Can't deny that. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Okay. Okay, all right. Let's see. So, Marielle says, found plenty of examples in a dictionary of the French and English tongues from 1611. Great. Archaic dictionaries, that's the way to go. The author, Randall Cotgrave, regularly uses the word fraught along with full of when translating French terms. Oh, I see. So when he's writing the entry for Apasteur, he says full of allurements, fraught with enticements. That's cool. That's cool. But again, see, notice he's already using it in that sense, in its past participial sense, right? So you can see already there in 1611, which is of course right around the time of the death of Shakespeare, that it's already being used. The Spencer example, Ethelod, that you gave as well, we can see how the word fraught is settling into its modern usage, right? It's how the past participle is being retained. Or actually, I think it's probably more safe to characterize that in a different way. The verb fraught, right? To fraught something. He fraughts things. Was a very narrowly applied word. Like, that was a very technical word. It was about loading ships. It was about merchandise, right? It's a cargo specific word. The use of the past participle fraught, it survived, and that alone survived. It would make sense, right? Because the particular the technical usage of that word died out. But the metaphorical usage remained, and the past participial uses, it is fraught with, right, is able to be used metaphorically all over the place, whether it be in a quasi-technical sense, Marielle, right, in a dictionary, right, in a constant, or fraught with danger, like Gisel and Gisling were saying, or fraught with anguish, like poor Una was in Book 1 of the Fairy Queen. So that is a metaphorical usage which attained clearly much broader application, and that's why it survived, right? The technical usage, I would think, must have changed to freight. I mean, because freight is still used. Freighting. Freight is an adjective. Freight is a noun. Freight, even as a present participle, is still used in like shipping terms, right? I mean, in the same kind of technical context in which the verb fraught was used. So our challenge is to recover the archaic. We're not only going to recover the archaic usage of fraught or fraughting, right? That would be heroic enough of us, like to try to revive that archaic usage. But we will go further, right? We shall go further than Éomer. No, wait, sorry, that's not what I mean. We shall be more hardy than Tulkas. What we shall do is extend the present tense verb usage in a metaphorical way in which the metaphor was never extended beyond the past participle, right? So if we can not only bring the word fraught back into present verb usage and frauding and frauded, right? But to apply it in a metaphorical sense, as presumably most of us won't be talking about actual freight and cargo every day all the time, right? So we'd have to be applying it metaphorically. But if we do so, what a great, not only a recovery of the archaic word, but an enrichment of the archaic word, right? I'm telling you, this is noble. This is a quest. Oh boy, this is wonderful. Hey, Gisling, good to see you here in town. Is it? Oh, do they give you this little house? Which one do you? Oh, that's not a little house. That's a little entry to a big house, and that's quite a little house. Which one is yours, Gisling? Do you live over here, or do you live in here with the refugees? Is that a big refugee house now? If so, the people of Snowbourn are really nice. Oh, you want to use it about sandwiches, Phil, being fraught with fillings? That's good. That's good. But if you use the verb, right? I will fraught my sandwich with ham, right? You know, that's even better. Or to use it in the past tense, right? Like if you're eating a sandwich and someone's like, whoa, you know, a lot of ham in that sandwich, right? Then you'd be like, yeah, I frauded this thing with ham, man. Yeah, exactly. You frauded your pizza with extra cheese and pepperoni. Perfect, Edith. Perfect. That is excellent, right? How cool is that? Holy cow. Yeah. And absolutely. So Phil says he's fraughting his cheese sandwich with chilies. There you go, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And Rinrus, I think it would be eminently applicable to burritos. Clearly. You frauded your tortilla with eggs. Certainly. Oh, see? Oh, good. Excellent. Okay. So now let's keep thinking in a non-food context, right? Because we can extend this even further. But those are great examples, right? You certainly would fraught things in the kitchen, right? I guess you could theoretically fraught your children with clothes, maybe in more than one sense.
Mission is dire.
Okay. You have made it, Gryfflet. Thanks in no small part to you. Oh, yeah, no worries. I can only hope my father and his men will hold Garsfeld in the days to come. Yeah, me too. Am I supposed to go back and check on him, Gisling? A caravan protector's mace? Let's see. Let's see. How is this? Ooh, a little bit of an upgrade. Hang on. A little bit of an upgrade over Burnoth's steel blade. Does he want a big honkin' mace? Well, it does. It's an agility-based weapon, surprisingly. Yeah, I think I do want this one. Let's do that. Let's equip this honkin' big mace. Oh, hang on, I gotta do my little virtue potions. Oh, yeah. No, I don't want to unequip my... Oh, I hate it when that happens. Hang on. No, it's the secondary weapon. Yeah. Okay. All right. Looking like a boss right there, Gryfflet. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm just making sure that my my honkin' new mace is visible in my cosmetics, which, yep, there it is. Honkin' new mace. Okay. Good job there, Gryfflet. Gryfflet is now fraughted with a mace. Or he just frauded the mace on himself. No, Gisling frauded Gryfflet with a mace. Well, that doesn't sound good, does it? He fraud him with a mace. You wouldn't think that meant he handed it to him. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, hang on. Ooh, we can have some conversation.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
What do you think of Reeve Fastred? Okay, he is certainly a bold ruler. Reeve Fastred only recently inherited the title he now holds. I do not doubt he means well, but his fervor for violence against the orcs has the potential to blind him. I fear his pride will untimely hurt the people of the Sutcrofts, as I believe... Ultimately hurt the people of the Sutcrofts, as I believe the defenseless should no longer remain in these lands, but only time will tell. Okay, so he has like the opposite problem of many of the other Reeves that I've met.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
The first thing to be done is to speak with Fastred. He is a Reeve of the Sutcrofts and a young, brutal leader. Whoa. He may be upset with my father for his actions, but the dangers facing the Sutcrofts are quite real, and sooner or later he will need to understand that. Wait, he doesn't understand that the dangers are real? Oh, because he, like, scorns the orcs? Is that the problem? Okay, I'll look into that. What can you tell me of Snowbourn?
What brings you to these lands?
Snowbourn is the largest settlement in the Eastemnet and was built within the ruins of an old Gondorian castle known as Ost Lothront. Really? The town has been much more crowded as of late. People from across these lands have sought shelter here amidst the danger growing in the east. That is interesting, and I was just going to say, Gisling, this building you're standing in front of looks really old, right? I mean, I mean, look, compare the stonework right there to the stonework in, like, this wall, right? Not to mention, obviously, the wooden constructions of the building. So, yeah, that's the next thing I was going to do before, of course, I went to the mead-hall, was look at this and try to figure out, of course, if those are windows. I think they're meant to be windows. So this was an old Gondorian castle. Hang on. Just looking for evidence here. Is this the only surviving Gondorian building? The wall was probably Gondorian. Okay, so much to see. But hang on, let me get your last quest here, Gisling. What about the refugees?
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
The crofters are now safe in Snowbourn, but I know not where they are to stay. Oh, they're not staying here? Oh well. I do not think Fastred would be so cold as to see them live in the streets of his fine city, so I am certain there is something we can do. Seek out a guard and see if they are aware of any open homes in Snowbourn. Okay. All right. I guess I got some more examples here while I've been talking here. Let's see, my hair is fraught with lice. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry to hear about that problem, but yes, that works as a usage. Though again, it's okay. Nothing wrong with using fraught in its more traditional past participial sense. But we want to try not only to do that, but to use it in the active, in the present transitive sense, or in the present participial sense. Right. This stream is fraught with nerds. It's true. That is also true. Let's see. Oh, so Zach Estelle says I like the reflexive. Yeah, me too. Wait, did somebody use it in the reflexive? Hang on. Let's see. Oh, so Phil was asking, does it have the implication of excess? No. No, it doesn't have an implication of excess, just of being loaded, right? So it doesn't have to be excess. Yeah, it doesn't have to be excess. You can fraught your head with knowledge, absolutely. Yeah. You can be like, oh man, my brain is just frauded right now. That would be a good usage. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I don't see. Did somebody use it in the reflexive Zacasto, or were you just thinking that would be a good idea? Like fraughting yourself with something? Yes, Phil, you do froth the stream with scones. That is absolutely true. Yeah, well, they look like they don't maintain the windows, but I mean, let's not give them any ideas. All right, hang on. Yeah, there's that tower. I figured that was there because it's here on the map, right? That is obviously very Gondorian. So let's see how that's connected to the walls, because that looks like it was. That looks like it should be the top of a much taller tower. This looks like a Gondorian tower that has sunk almost all the way into the ground, and only the spiky bit is still sticking up. Or it was like a turret on the wall. Ooh, Edith, I like that idea. What if it's not glass, but it's horn or something similar? Yeah, horn was used as for windows because it's translucent, right? It's not transparent, but of course glass was hard to make and not very common in ancient manufacturing. Okay. All right, so this little square is... I was wondering, is this... No, this is a Rohirric thing. I'm going to bind myself here to Snowbourn just in case. Gryfflet doesn't really use his milestones very often. This looks different. The little sort of brassy looking bits at the bottom look different, and they look older. But the stone looks new. It doesn't look like that old building over there, which I can see from a distance a little bit better. Well, maybe if I got it from behind the trees. Yeah, I gotta check out all around that, obviously. But these whatever these are, like mega Merlins in the middle of and around the park. I'm not sure what the point of them is. Yeah. Oh, Ethelod, that's from Dr. J? Cool. Okay, right. So from Dr. Johnson's dictionary, fraught, he includes fraught in his dictionary. Interesting that he included, not surprising though. Not surprising because Dr. Johnson was building his dictionary on historical principles. The modern OED is sort of the heir of Dr. Johnson's dictionary, meaning that he built his dictionary not on etymological principles and but by going through and finding quotations to illustrate the usage. So he was building it from the historical usage within print, especially of words. So he would have found like Shakespeare's and Chaucer's usages of fraught, and would certainly have included those, especially if Shakespeare used it, because Dr. J was a total Shakespeare fanboy. But okay, so he says that to fraught is a transitive verb. You're okay, good. Okay, he confirms it's a transitive verb, which I figured it was here for freight, a corruption by Dr. Johnson. Okay, right. To load, to crowd. Okay. Yep. Wait, who says for freight by corruption? It's not a corruption. I'm offended. It's a Middle English word. Perfectly fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that tower is... Oh, definitely. There's no question about... I mean, yeah, I'm not questioning it's being a Gondorian town. What I'm questioning is how much of the Gondorian stonework survives. I should be more clear as to the substance of my inquiry here. Again, not... I mean, again, that's clearly Gondorian. Let's look at the roof. We can see the roof from here. Yeah. Oh, man, I just lost the roof. Yeah, there's the roof. Okay. Yeah, see that? Notice how the sort of, I don't know if it's gold leaf or what it is, the kind of inlay design on the roof is very like the inlay that we see on doors in Gondorian ruins, say up in Enedwythe and places like that, right? So yeah, no, I mean this place looks Gondorian. It doesn't have the tree, right? Not quite sure what this place was, but yeah, but again, what I'm interested in, this is the first time we've seen this. We haven't seen a Rohirric city built on top of a Gondorian ruin. We've seen Gondorian ruins near Rohirric populations, right? But we've never seen them actually take one over. And so my question is, what are they doing with it? And the answer is a whole lot of nothing. Look, they've got this big, huge, enormous stone building right here, whose roof is still up, keep in mind. And what have they done? They've built a little hutment next to it, right? And this is a darling little house, don't get me wrong. I think this is just the cutest little one-room thatched cottage that you'll ever see. But, well, one of them. Anyway, it's real cute. But the point is, they did, rather than being like, hey, let's move into that big old ancient, cathedral behind us. No, instead they're building their own houses all around it and right up bang against it, as we saw right, flanking Gisling on either side there, right? Do they use this thing at all? Hang on, gotta go around the other side. So that's why when I was looking at those like mega merlins over there, what I was trying to figure out was whether is this repurposed stone? Is this a remnant of old Gondor? This wall here, with the knotwork carvings on the flat surfaces and the rounded stones mortared together, is a very attractive wall and much more formal than we've seen in most other places. Cliving had a wall kind of like this, right, as well. But that's like when Rohirric do stonework, that's Rohirric stonework right there, right? Also, with this kind of building right here, their stonework also tends to look like this, right? Notice how much less precise it is, how much more rounded the corners and how rough the sides of the stones. They still fit together perfectly well. This is a perfectly admirable stone building, right? But it is not cut and laid with the kind of skill that we can see over here, right? But anyway, that's fine. Yeah, no, this side is blank too. So no, they're not using this at all. They just didn't demolish it. And I don't see too much. There's that tower, obviously, and we'll get there. But again, I'm trying to figure out what the Rohirrim did here. These walls, certainly they must have kept the city walls, right? I mean, you don't just go about demolishing old Númenorian walls. We saw even in Arnor, there are random walls still standing around. Yeah, and yeah, this is old. Yeah, you can see. Looks like it's maybe withstood a thing or two, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, and so you see that those Mega Merlin things are on the walls as well. So those must be Gondorian, I guess. They could be transplanted. That is, they could have had some from other places in the town, and they took them and used them to decorate the park, essentially, right? Yeah, okay, so here we are right next to it now. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not even clear what the old Gondorians did with that building. I didn't really see any doors in it. Hi, Éomer. Good to meet you. I'm just surveying. I just want to see how the town goes on here. It goes down to the river and beyond. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, right, but it's only just a little bit flooded, like I could, even the Hobbit doesn't have to swim. Huh. Am I close enough to be inside the city? If I come right up to the walls? Map-wise, yes I am. Nice. Okay. Wow, so it just goes right under the walls? The water? Seems like a bad plan. But of course that obviously could have changed since the Númenórean time, which merely suggests that the Númenórean wall has survived even the changing of the flood of this river. Uh-oh, except for here. Bit of a gap in the wall, guys. This could be awkward later. I mean, there's a water hazard here, of course, but I walked here without swimming, so orcs could do so as well. Just pointing that out, fellas. Does it make you uncomfortable? Are you a little uneasy with your sweeping, knowing that there's a big bloody hole in the wall right there? Okay. Yeah, let me go find the... Oh, no. Okay, the gates. Is that a rat sitting on top of that? There was something sitting on the cask I didn't notice. What cask? Over here? It's like a bowl or a little parcel. There's a rat. I mean, there's a little horse head tap next to the sweeper. No, I think it must be the tap that you were seeing from the angle around behind. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the tap of this keg here. Yeah. Yep. The little horse head tap. Okay. Oh, we've got some running children. That's good. Like to see the running children. Now, this is interesting. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. That's embarrassing, guys. Doesn't this make you feel a little sheepish? I mean, like the wooden palisade and gate. So you've got this gap in the walls, right? Maybe there didn't used to be an entry here at all, right? But yeah, my goodness, Edith, doesn't this look rickety? Like, seriously, you could do better. Even like qua palisade, right? You could do better. I do agree the walls are not very high here either. Now, look, there's no reason to think this wall would be an impediment, right? Like it would prevent you from just waltzing straight in. If you would need a very long ladder to get up it, obviously, but it would be inconvenient, right? And this place, let's remind ourselves of where we are, right? Not just in Gondor, but like big picture, right? Where are we? We are down here, right? On this inland route, well, inland, the river comes through, of course, but still, like, who's attacking here, right? Who are you defending against? This is not a frontier place. I gotta think that even the Gondorians, when they made this, weren't really, like, they weren't the first line of defense against anybody. So I couldn't blame them for not building their walls super high. But the Rohirrim, come on. Even if you're going to build a palisade, you can do better than this. Other Rohirric cities have better palisades than this. But I mean, boy, doesn't this show you the decline, right? Look at that beautiful, strong tower with its beautifully squared stone, and then this crude, dinky palisade without even a proper gate. Yeah, look at those gates. Honestly. And it's a decentish beam that secures it, apparently, but I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Do I need to keep going around the perimeter? Yeah, because as long as we've gone most of the way around the perimeter, let's keep going and work our way towards that tower. Because the tower and the interior keep there seem to be of older stonework than of older stonework than this wall, which is interesting. Okay. You could move the boulder, or you can just build around it. But could I say I would have built around it on the other side, leaving your potential enemies a convenient ramp, you know, to run up like this, and then jump up onto the walls. Look, if a hobbit can do that, that's a pretty bad idea. Like a really bad idea, in fact. So even the Gondorians were apparently somewhat lazy, which helps to explain the shortness of the walls. Oops. Yeah, can tell you guys are not the paranoid type. Haven't even put a rickety palisade in there. Hey, expert farmhand, can you help me with something?
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, can you fix my cloak? I'm sick of seeing that icon. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Okay, so here is the symbol. Ah. Sheaf of grain. White sheaf of grain on red. Kind of like it. Okay. Now here's that tower. It really just looks like it. Okay. All right. Obviously not constructed at the same time as the wall. I mean, that couldn't be more obvious looking at this. My question is, what the heck is this tower? Like, what's the point of it? Was it a watchtower? Was it isolated? Or is it, you know, so my first question is, was it built as a standalone or is it a ruin? I'm thinking, oh, another little stepping stone. How close are we to another entrance? Oh, wait. What? I just went through the wall? Whoa. I found a secret door and just... Oh! Look at that. There it is. I found a secret door. Oh no, I'm inside the wall. Uh-oh. I better get out or I'm going to get trapped. Whoa. Okay. Gryfflet having a freaky dimension shift experience. Okay. All right. But, you know, apart from the secret doorways in, this is back to the gate that I approached with the refugees. Back when I was fraughted with refugees. All right. Let me run down now to that tower. I want to see it from the inside. Hey, Sigarik! Good to see you, dude. Glad you made it. You're still propped up against things, though. That's like you've decided to go pro with the sitting propped against things, because you did do a good job, and it apparently saved your life. No, you were captured. It hadn't saved your life. You weren't successfully hiding. You were just not eaten yet. Exactly, and I got to you only just in time. Okay, all right, now we're approaching that tower. Okay, so you can see walls coming off it from the inside, broken walls. I really want to run up the roof of these houses, and it would give me such a nice view. Oh well, okay. All right, so We have old interior walls. Again, look how very different they are, right? Old interior walls. Huh. This is... See, yeah, that tower... I could tell... You see, we could tell from a distance, that tower was just like a spike, right? It was just a... It was not the whole construction. And that's very clear from this. Look at this. These are windows. So this was like some kind of hall, of which that surviving tower is just like one remaining bit. Yeah. Yeah. This wall right here. And look at the plinth at the bottom, right? That's an external wall. So I think that what we're seeing here is not a tower at all. Yeah, see, look at that wall broken off, and then this other wall broken off, and this area in between. I think this was a building. I think this was a keep, not a tower. I think this was a keep that was located here before the city was built, before those walls were constructed, certainly. Obviously, long before the Rohirrim came, right? And this is the oldest thing. So the very first thing we had here in, what was it called? L something or other. Anyway, before we had, the very first thing we had was several different. So originally this was not a walled situation. This was not a walled city. We have two structures which clearly date from this earliest period, right? This one, this ruinous structure of which only that one tower remains, and that sort of keep/cathedral building over on the other side of town, right? The one that Gisling was up near. Yeah, so you can see them marked on the map. This tower here next to us, and then this sort of keep thing up here, right? Those are the last two surviving structures of the earliest period of the Gondorian occupation of this area. But it looks like they didn't have a wall. So they were originally separate keeps, separate buildings. Again, this would not have been a place that was under significant military threat. Even the Easterlings are pretty distant from here. So, and we've seen also, remember, isolated like Gondorian summer houses and things. Remember that? Out near what's it called? Where was that? That was over by the east wall. No, Norcrofts. No. Yes. No, by Elthingels. It was in the Wold. Yeah, sorry. It was in the Wold. Yes, down by Earl's Hollow. It was on the way out to the Norcrofts. Pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, down in that area. Yeah, because no, it was on the way. It was like on the way to Elthingels, in the Wold. Yeah, down out here near Earl's Hollow. That's where we saw that the ruins of that Gondorian, which just looked like a house. It didn't look like a keep at all. So I think that that's what these must have been. There must have been a sort of these like a Gondorian villa, basically out here, right? One, this sort of a keep with nice towers, right? Like that one surviving tower here, that other building over there, whatever it was, and there could well have been more. I mean, it certainly, I absolutely agree, Madman, that there must have been repurposed stone here. So much of this ruin must have been used to help construct the homes of Snowbourn, and it's hard to blame them for that. But there's an intermediary stage, clearly an intermediary stage, right, between the original Gondorian settlement and the modern Rohirric settlement if those walls are indeed Numenorian, as they seem to be. I mean, I really don't think... I mean, I don't see any clear reason to be convinced that these walls were built by the Rohirrim. They look older. Yeah. No, I think those are Gondorian walls. So that would suggest that maybe during the time of the kings, the original buildings were constructed out here, right? Then maybe during the time of the stewards already, when things were getting a little bit more tense, they put up the wall, right? Sometime in the, maybe the second millennium or something of the Third Age. And the Rohirrim, when they moved in, kept the wall, right? And that's why this became such a major town, because it was already made, right? Especially if you've got these big old stone walls. I mean, how many of the towns of the Rohirrim had stone walls like this, right? And we haven't seen very many of those. Can I say I just love the multicolor, sort of, the multi-hued carvings there. Just that effect is really nice. I like that a lot. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I don't see any evidence that anything else survives. They were clearly not very preservationist in their overtaking, right, of this town. Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, look, it's the mead-hall. How about that? And Éomer. Is Éomer standing over there? I thought he was. Where is he? Oh, he's kind of hiding in the shadows. There he is. Okay. Yeah, thought I saw him. All right, so we are just about to get back into serious Snowbourn action now. But, of course, it's time to go. I'm late already. So I'm going to let you guys go. It's time for me to give way to Druid's Fire, as usual. Thanks for joining me, as always, and sharing this moment of wonderful linguistic discovery with me. Don't forget to use the word fraught, not just in its past participle form, which is perfectly respectable, but in its present tense, past tense, and if you're feeling frisky, present participial forms. Awesome. Great. So, yeah, sorry. Yes. Before I go, Wigan, yay or nay? Okay. So I'm thinking I'm okay, from a technical standpoint. Things have held up over the last 2 weeks. So I think I could be good to go there. My chief problem is time. It's been a real struggle. So I'm still trying to sort that out, and I promise to let you know if I'm able to find that. But the time has been much more compressed than I had hoped. Whole lot going on. So anyway, thanks for joining me. This was a super fun stream, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.